Jimmy Cliff, the iconic Jamaican musician whose soul-stirring voice and revolutionary rhythms helped propel reggae, ska, and rocksteady into the global spotlight, has passed away at the age of 81, leaving behind a legacy that echoes through generations of music lovers and cultural revolutionaries alike. His departure marks the end of an era for a genre that not only defined the sound of Jamaica but also became a universal anthem for resilience, rebellion, and redemption. Cliff's music was more than mere entertainment. It was a lifeline for the oppressed, a bridge across oceans of inequality, and a testament to the unyielding human spirit that refuses to be silenced by poverty, colonialism, or systemic injustice. Born James Chambers on July 30, 1944, in the midst of a ferocious hurricane that battered the shores of St. James Parish in northwestern Jamaica, Cliff's entry into the world seemed predestined for turbulence and triumph. The storm's fury mirrored the challenges he would face throughout his life, yet it also forged in him a tenacity that would become his hallmark. Growing up on a modest family farm amid the lush, unforgiving landscapes of rural Jamaica, young James was surrounded by the raw rhythms of everyday survival, the call-and-response chants of field workers, the pulsating beats of mento music drifting from distant rum shops, and the spiritual hymns sung in makeshift churches under the Caribbean sun. These early influences planted the seeds of what would blossom into a career spanning over 6 decades, during which he would record more than 30 albums, captivate audiences from the cobblestone streets of Kingston to the grand stages of Paris and beyond, and collaborate with some of the most influential artists of his time. In the 1950s, driven by an insatiable hunger for artistic expression, Cliff followed his father to Kingston, the pulsating heart of Jamaica's burgeoning music scene. The capital was a cauldron of creativity, where sounds from American R&B mingled with local folk traditions, birthing the hybrid genres that would soon conquer the world. At the tender age of 14, Cliff burst onto the national stage with Hurricane Hattie, a song he penned himself, capturing the chaos and catharsis of the very storm that heralded his birth. The track's infectious energy and poignant lyrics resonated deeply with a nation still grappling with the scars of colonial rule, propelling the young prodigy to instant fame. It was a moment that encapsulated Cliff's genius. His ability to transform personal and collective trauma into art that heals and unites. As his star rose, Cliff's journey took him far beyond Jamaica's borders. He performed at international spectacles like the 1964 World's Fair in New York, where his electrifying sets introduced American audiences to the vibrant pulse of Jamaican music. The following year, fate intervened in the form of Chris Blackwell, the visionary founder of Island Records, who had already begun shaping the careers of other reggae luminaries like Bob Marley and the Wailers. Blackwell invited Cliff to the United Kingdom, offering him a platform to refine his sound in the sophisticated studios of London. There, amid the fog-shrouded streets and the countercultural ferment of the swinging 60s, Cliff honed his craft, blending the gritty authenticity of his roots with the polished production techniques of Western pop. Albums from this period, rich with soulful ballads and upbeat anthems, showcased his versatility as a performer who could evoke both the joy of a beachside dancehall and the sorrow of urban exile. Yet, Cliff's impact transcended mere music. He ventured into the realm of cinema, delivering a performance that would immortalize him as a cultural icon. In 1972, he starred in The Harder They Come, a groundbreaking film directed by Perry Henzell that peeled back the glamorous veneer of Jamaican tourism to reveal the stark realities of crime, corruption, and class warfare. As Ivanhoe Ivan Martin, a struggling musician turned outlaw, Cliff embodied the rage of the disenfranchised youth, his on-screen charisma matching the raw power of his soundtrack contributions. The film's titular song, a defiant cry against exploitation, became an international hit, catapulting reggae into mainstream consciousness and challenging stereotypes of Jamaica as merely a paradise of sun-kissed beaches and rum punches. The Harder They Come didn't just entertain, it educated, forcing global viewers to confront the socio-political undercurrents that fueled the island's explosive creativity. Cliff's portrayal earned him acclaim as an actor of depth and nuance, proving that his talents extended far beyond the microphone. Reflecting on his ambitions in a heartfelt 2019 interview, even as declining eyesight dimmed his physical world, Cliff revealed a fire that burned undimmed by age or adversity. "When I've achieved all my ambitions, then I guess that I will have done it and I can just say great," he mused, his voice carrying the weight of a lifetime's pursuit. "But I'm still hungry. I want it. I've still got the burning fire that burns brightly inside of me, like I just said to you. I still have many rivers to cross." This unquenchable drive was the essence of Jimmy Cliff, a man who viewed success not as a destination but as an ongoing odyssey, fraught with obstacles yet illuminated by passion. Cliff's discography is a treasure trove of timeless singles that weave humanitarian themes into infectious melodies. Tracks like You Can Get It If You Really Want It serve as empowering manifestos, urging listeners to seize their destinies amid hardship, while Many Rivers to Cross poignantly captures the existential ache of displacement and longing. His covers further amplified his reach, reimagining Johnny Nash's I Can See Clearly Now for the 1993 bobsledding comedy Cool Runnings, infused the song with a reggae swagger that celebrated Jamaican pride on the Olympic stage, and his soulful take on Cat Stevens' Wild World added layers of worldly wisdom to an already introspective classic. Bob Dylan, no stranger to protest anthems himself, once hailed Cliff's Vietnam as the finest anti-war song ever composed, praising its unflinching critique of imperial folly delivered through a melody that lingers like a haunting refrain. What set Cliff apart was his anti-establishment ethos, which gave voice to the voiceless. In an era when Jamaica's poor battled not just economic despair but the lingering shadows of British colonialism, his lyrics became weapons of empathy and upliftment. He sang of the spirit and joy that bloomed defiantly in the cracks of oppression, turning personal stories of struggle into universal calls for justice. This resonated far beyond Jamaica, influencing global movements for civil rights and anti-colonialism. Cliff's collaborations read like a who's who of rock royalty, jamming with the Rolling Stones during their island-infused explorations, trading verses with Elvis Costello on eclectic fusion projects, harmonizing with Annie Lennox's ethereal vocals, and sharing stages with Paul Simon, whose